Well, Tekashi 69 is breathing a sigh of relief tonight. Just a short time ago, a judge sentenced him to 4 years probation. He's completely dodging jail time this time. And this is all part of a 2015 criminal sex case involving a minor where prosecutors said he violated the terms of a plea deal. Now, let's show some video of him coming into court today. He was pretty subdued when we bumped into him outside of court. He was walking in, going through security. His real name is Daniel Hernandez, and he has initially, this hearing today was supposed to be very brief, but the prosecutors in the case presented last-minute evidence to the judge. A lot of it was readily available, stuff that Hernandez has posted on Instagram. Now, the prosecution in many ways was attempting to paint this rather unsavory picture of the rapper, claiming that he was constantly getting into trouble. One incident happened at the Barclays Center not long ago where he was involved in a shooting. But the judge decided to look past a lot of it, noting that a lot of the bad behavior happened outside of the 2-year window where he agreed not to get into trouble. Now, Hernandez's lawyers argue that this Tekashi 69 is just a character and a form of entertainment. Hear what she said.
He knows how to market. And like he said, all that stuff on Instagram, all that blood association, it's to make money. But what does he do with his money? He gave over like $1 million.
What? Wait a minute. Let me hear that again.
All that stuff on Instagram, all that blood association, it's to make money. But what does he do with his money?
Okay. I got something to say about that. I'll let her speak.
He gave over like $1 million away. Who does that?
Let me hear that again.
It's to make money. But what does he do with his... He knows how to market. And like he said, all that stuff on Instagram, all that blood association, it's to make money. But what does he do with his money? He gave over like $1 million away. Who does that?
And that was another, I guess, one of the arguments that they used was his charity work. He's done a lot here in the community. He's done a lot to give back to the kids who look up to him. So in addition to the 4 years probation, Hernandez has to complete 1,000 hours of community service. And the judge did warn him if he violated any of the terms of this probation, he will be facing jail time. For now, we are live in Lower Manhattan. I'm Andrew Ramos, Pix 11 News.
Okay, so you guys heard that, right? I'm going to read I'm debating on whether I should read the whole article, but I'm going to just read. If I don't read it, you guys will know that I'm not reading it anyways. I usually don't cover stuff like this. You know, I'm not really into gossip and all that, but this concerned me for a few different reasons. And I'll give you the reasons after this. Brooklyn. Rapper Daniel Hernandez, famously known as Tekashi 69 and 69, has been sentenced to 4 years probation for using a child in a sex performance. Disgusting. The 22-year-old pled guilty after online videos of him surfaced of him sexually engaging with an underage girl in October 2015. Hernandez was seen touching and fondling the minor's body parts. That's really disgusting. And standing behind her while making thrusting motions with his pelvis and smacking her on the buttocks, according to a complaint filed with the Criminal Court of New York. At the time of the incident, Hernandez was 18 and the minor was 13. Ew. The defendant, knowing the character and content thereof, employed and authorized and induced a child less than 17 years of age to engage in a sexual performance, and being a parent, legal guardian and custodian of such child. Huh? I don't get that. The defendant consented to participation of such child in sexual performance. Somebody, I don't know if they wrote this right. The court document stated, Prosecutors portrayed an unsavory picture of Hernandez on Friday. Well, he portrayed that of himself while citing his Instagram post claiming he was constantly getting into trouble. But Hernandez argued that Tekashi 6ix9ine is just a character and a form of entertainment. You guys hear that? Huh. He knows how to market it. That's what she said. It's funny. The article wrote, he knows how to mark it. Somebody didn't write this well. I know I have bad penmanship sometimes, but good grief. He knows how to market it. That's what she said in the video. And like he said, all the stuff on Instagram, all that blood association, it's to make money. That's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. I'm from Los Angeles, and although I did not grow up in a blood neighborhood, I know how serious that association is. But I'll get back to that later. I'm going to finish this article. I'm going to read that again. He knows how to market it. And he said all the stuff on Instagram, all that blood association, is to make money. His lawyer said that and said the following sentencing. What does he do with his money? He gives away $1 million. Who does that? Well, a lot of people do that. A lot of people do it, trust me. Hernandez originally faced 1 to 3 years behind bars in addition to his probation. The rapper will have to complete 1,000 hours of community service. So, I didn't mean to do that. I don't even know. These pages or something else. I'm sorry, guys. I don't really do stuff like this, so if it sounds like I'm not handling this in the best way, I'm sorry. I don't like people hurting children. That's another thing. But the reason I read this is there's a few reasons. One, I mean, he did this years ago. And how many of the public knew about that? You know, and also thinking about just, you know, his whole image. And I started to talk, I mean, it's one thing where, I mean, he should be in jail for that. How does he get probation? I don't get that. You know, for doing such a nasty thing like that to a child. You know, it doesn't make sense to me. Another thing is, here's the one thing another thing aside from what happened to this child, which I'm wondering, like, where were the parents, man? What was the deal? And I wonder who's taking him to court. The parents, the article wasn't clear about that. Was it the parents? Was it the child? Who's taking him to court? I don't get it. Whoever it is, like, seriously, I mean, like I don't have no problem with this. He should serve what he needs to serve for this. I think community service is a slap on the wrist. You know, it's like, man, Me Too, where are you? Where are you? This dude is like totally like showing some pederast activity, but where are you? I mean, why? I mean, I'm just finding out about this. I didn't know about this before. But I wonder if the public will change their opinion on him. At least his fans. Another thing that I have to say, and I started to say it while I was reading this. The blood and crip thing out here in LA, it was a pretty serious thing when I was coming up. Like, seriously. I mean, when I was in junior high, if a person was wearing, a person was not allowed to wear British Knights. And for all of you guys that are my age, and you're from Los Angeles, you know exactly what that meant. And I don't think people were allowed to wear Calvin Klein either. They weren't allowed to have pagers. They weren't allowed to have blue or red solid. This is in school. But in the neighborhood, you had to be careful too. I grew up in pretty much I never got involved in gang type stuff, but I knew a lot of people that were into it. I grew up in pretty much, I won't say predominantly, I'll say it was 100% Crip. Long Beach is a Crip city. That it's called that when it comes to gang stuff. Aside from the Crips, we had like some Sureño gangs, like a lot of like Longueros, like Longos. That's a Mexican, predominantly Mexican gang. But I'm just talking about Blood and Crip stuff. I think the nearest Bloods to us were in the next neighboring city of Carson, and maybe a few in Wilmington. Actually, no, it was a lot in Wilmington from back in the day. But aside from that, that stuff was serious back then. You could not play around with that. A Tekashi 6ix9ine would not exist back then. I don't know what's going on now. It's not my way. It's not my thing. How can I say this? It's not my place to speak on the street, but I'm just letting you guys know. This dude is fake. He's claiming all this blood stuff, and it's like he's playing around with something that a lot of people hold dear. I don't know how the New York Bloods are on him with that. I don't know, like what the deal is with that. And it's not any of my business, but it's really suspect. And to be honest, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't want to sound hella conspiracy theory or anything like that. I think he's an agent provocateur. Whether he's, I don't know if it's a government plan or not. I don't know. I can't say that. I don't know him and I don't know his situation, but either way, he's an agent provocateur. To fake like you're a Blood and to use it as a marketing ploy, that on the street, that I know for a fact that that's not cool. I wonder how many people know that he was doing that as a money ploy. Like you're a studio gangster, basically. Like you're not really a Blood. I'm not, like I said, I can't speak on street stuff, but to me, that's like faking the funk, man. And I think it's disrespectful, even though, like, I'm not involved in any gang stuff, and I predominantly grew up in a Crip city. I think that's disrespectful to that Blood gang or whatever. Just to be kind of like pimping that style. And then perpetuating violence in the community, too. That's just not cool. So, you couldn't fake the funk back then, man. I kid you not. Like, seriously, that could have, what he's doing back then would have got him killed. That stuff was not funny. And people, like when I'm from, Los Angeles County, Long Beach, that whole area, all of Los Angeles, when it came to predominantly black gangs, then back in the 80s, I know that there were some Latin folks and even some Asian folks in Crip and Blood gangs. But that stuff was serious, man. And I don't understand, why he would do something like that. I think he's faking the funk. Like if he's using that just to make money, and the whole excuse about him giving away money does not, shoot, that's nothing. You could do other work and give away money. You don't have to be a freaking troll or a buster. Anyway, you guys, I want to know what you think. I don't even know if I'm going to keep this video up, but I'm just curious what you guys think.